Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we're going to do our normal Saturday weekend review. Though it feels like everybody does a weekend review anymore. Saturday Night Live, John Oliver. Who knows how many others, but unlike them, I talk about the news and science and history. So, with that introduction out of the way, let's kind of hop into this, shall we? Do, do, do. And as always, let's start off with sports. The NFL, the National Football League, has finished its yearly draft of choosing the best collegiate players for the teams. And so, I'm sorry if I had my thumb over the camera there. But, yeah, the NFL draft is over. And it doesn't seem like the playoffs are going to happen anytime, or the season will start anytime soon until September. So, for now, the NFL news is going to be pretty dead. Preseason should start in August, though. Now, let's look at the NBA, the National Basketball Association. It's a taking its time because I gotta clear out several gigs of junk from my computer. Let's see. Playoffs. Okay. We are in the midst of the playoff semifinals. There we go. In the West, the Golden State Warriors are leading the Houston Rockets 2-0. And the Portland Trailblazers are leading the Denver Nuggets 2-1. In the East, the Milwaukee Bucks are leading the Boston Celtics 2-1. And the Philadelphia 76ers are leading the Toronto Raptors 2-1. So, that is how the NBA playoffs are currently going. Let's take a moment and look at the NHL, the National Hockey League. And they are going currently through their playoffs in their search for Lord Stanley's Cup. And my computer is just taking its time. Oh, yeah. It's just going along. All right. They are also in the semifinals of the NHL playoffs. In the West, the Dallas Stars lead the St. Louis Blues 3-2. And the Colorado Avalanche and the San Jose Sharks are tied 2-2. In the East, the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Boston Bruins are tied 2-2. And Carolina swept the New York Islanders 4-0. So the Carolina Hurricanes have advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals to face the winner of the Boston Bruins and the Columbus Blue Jackets. So they'll get to sit and wait a while since their series is tied 2-2. Now, with that said, let's look at the American summer pastime. One of the longest sports seasons on record, actually. It's a taking its time. All right. How about we look at the standings? Okay, in the American League East, Tampa Bay leads the division. They're 21-11. The next closest team is the New York Yankees, who are 3 games behind at 18-14. And by the way, I am a Tampa Bay fan. I've been a fan of the Rays since their inception into the Major League Baseball Major Leagues, and we went through some bad seasons, but we're just an okay team now. We went to the World Series twice, though we have yet to win it. Now, in the American League Central, it's led by the Minnesota Twins. They are 20-11. Their closest team is the Cleveland Indians, who are 2.5 games behind at 17-13. And in the American League West, the The Houston Astros lead at 18-14. Their closest team is the Seattle Mariners, who are only a game behind at a record of 18-16. Now let's take a look at the National League. In the National League East, Philadelphia Phillies lead at 18-13. So they're doing pretty good. Their next closest team is actually a tie between the Atlanta Braves and the New York Mets at 2.5 games behind each. Both records are 16-16. Now, the National League Central. That's led by the St. Louis Cardinals, who are 20-12. And their next closest team is the Chicago Cubs at 17-12, who are a game and a half behind. And finally, in the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers are leading the division at a record of 21-13, with Arizona behind as their closest competitor. They're behind by 1 game, and Arizona's record is 19-13. And so that's how the divisions shape up. Let's take a look and see if we have any major news going on. Injury. Come on. There you go. Injury updates. I do apologize. I'm munching on a Starlight Mint. Okay. No major players I can see so far. Backs clicking. Johnny Cueto of the Giants. He's out on a 60-day injured list, as is Pablo Sandoval. He's day-to-day. Corey Kluber of the Indians. He's on a 10-day injured list. Let's see. I do apologize if I don't get all big names. I haven't watched sports in so long. I don't know fully who's huge or not, so I only mention the names I recognize. Yankees have a giant list. Troy Tulowitzki, he's on 10-day injured. Aaron Judge, 10-day injured. Okay, so that is baseball. Now, the big sports collegiately, college basketball and college football have ended for their seasons. So let's see what else is currently going on as far as the NCAA goes. I don't know if NCAA hockey is still running. Uh, do, 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 do. The Frozen Four, which is hockey's Final Four for the NCAA. Minnesota Duluth men's hockey repeats as national champions. So their collegiate hockey season is over. Um, baseball's going on. Beach volleyball. Tennis. I'd say softball as well. And that's kind of what's going on in the NCAA right now. Let's also, since it is one of the world's largest sports, soccer, or as everybody else knows it, football. I guess it's what? Premier League. Let's look at the standings. When was their season played? Or are they still playing? That's kind of what I'm questioning. Premier League Soccer. Let's go to the Premier League website. We'll take a look here. So they are in match week 37. They are indeed still going on. So let's see here. Well, standings, maybe? Don't see anything for standings. Results, I guess? Everton played Burnley. As of today, the 4th of May, they've also got Newcastle versus Liverpool, Cardiff versus Crystal Palace, Wolves versus Fulham, Southampton versus West Ham, and the Spurs versus Bournemouth. Going back before Everton and Burnley in April the 28th, you had Leicester and Arsenal, Burnley versus Manchester City, Manchester United versus Chelsea. So, I'm still not positive on how you look at the standings, though. Tables? Maybe. Ah. So, yes, tables. Currently, our top 5 teams are from number 5, Arsenal. Number 4, Chelsea. Number 3, Tottenham Hotspur. Number 2, Manchester City. And number 1, Liverpool. Just outside the top 5, we have Manchester United. It's only a point behind Arsenal at number 5. But below Manchester United, they're a little bit off. They're about 8 points back. So those are the top teams right now in the Premier League. And with all that done, perhaps now, let's look at the week's moments in science. Science news. Antimatter keeps with quantum theory. It's both a particle and a wave. Uh, do, 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 do. Facebook data show how many people left Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. Pandas share the protein calories from bamboo, rivals wolves from meat. So they get just as much protein calories from the bamboo as wolves get from meat. That's interesting. A dinosaur's running gait may reveal insights into the history of bird flight. Well, of course, I mean, dinosaurs are related to birds. The closest relation, supposedly, to the Tyrannosaurus rex living today is the modern day chicken. LIGO and Virgo made 5 likely gravitational wave detections in a month. Hmm. Hippo poop cycles silicon through the East African environment. Well, I mean, dung from a lot of animals does recycle a lot of minerals back into the soil. That cardinal's back outside, moving around again. It looks like a wren on top of the strawberry pyramid. Anyway, sorry, I was getting distracted from the outside. Um, a jawbone shows Denisovans lived in the Tibetan plateau long before humans. Hmm. Skepticism grows over whether the first known exomoon actually exists. Let's see. What else is in here? How holes in herd immunity led to a 25-year high in U.S. measles cases. So again, the fact that anti-vaxxers have screwed things up. Hmm. Let's see. And it looks like it's going back into last week. So let's see what's on this side. Whoa. Nothing there. And let's go back and check another site. Scroll up. Science Mag. Let's see what it says. I'm starting to burn up. I'm going to have to open the windows here. Permits were supposed to make climbing. I was reading that. Permits were supposed to make climbing Yosemite's Half Dome safer. They made things worse. The U.S. National Quantum Initiative. From Act to Action. Microfabricated paths for blood and oxygen flow. Okay, that's pretty cool. There's again that information, hippos as silicon pumps. This shrimp-like creature makes aluminum armor to survive the deep sea's crushing pressure. Wow. And then tampering with T cells. What else they got going on? Boys with a rare muscle disease are breathing on their own thanks to gene therapy. Global Health Institute sued for age and sex discrimination. So there we go. Now, let's take a look back at the history. As you know, I am a history fan. I studied history in college, was a history major, was just one class short of graduating with a bachelor's degree, but I ran out of funds. Of course, that was partially my fault because it took me a while to transfer and get my grades back up, and then I kind of got interested in extra things like political science. I was taking Japanese as a minor and education as a minor. I started taking too many things. My bad. My back. My neck. I ain't trying to be Kia there. Anyway, let's look at this week in history. I believe we're starting on the 27th. Whew. Yeah, I'm burning up. April 2nd, 1st. I think we're starting on the 27th of April. I believe, if I remember correctly. And again, I apologize because my computer loads slowly. April 27th, the year let's see, 4977 BC. Universe was created according to Kepler. What? That can't be right. Oh, according to the astronomer, not the actual data and satellite. Of course, as for Kepler's calculation about the universe's birthday, scientists in the 20th century developed the Big Bang Theory, which showed that his calculations were off by about 13.7 billion years. Also on the 27th of April, navigator Ferdinand Magellan was killed in the Philippines in 1521. Uh, do, 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 do. Um, April 27th, 1994, South Africa holds its first multiracial elections. Let me put my computer down because this is killing me. I'm burning up. Turn that fan on medium. Oh, it's killing my butt too, sitting on that chair. Gonna have to get me something else. A softer chair, like a computer chair or something. Got a softer seat. Let's see. April 27th, 1773. The British Parliament passes the Unpopular Tea Act, which is cited as one of the largest reasons for the Civil War. Not the Civil War, but the Revolutionary War. Got my wars mixed up. What else we got? Okay. Let's look at April the 28th. Come on. Like I said, my computer runs so slow, it's ridiculous. April the 28th, 1945. Former Italian dictator Benito Mussolini is executed. Also on April 28th throughout history, let's see. Come on. Work with me, computer. Quit trying to be a punk. April 28th, 1789. Mutiny on the HMS Bounty. 3 weeks into a journey from Tahiti to the West Indies, the HMS Bounty is seized in a mutiny led by Fletcher Christian, the master's mate. Captain William Bligh and 18 of his loyal supporters were set adrift in a small open boat, and the Bounty set course for Tobai. Let's see, also on April the 28th. April the 28th, 1967. Muhammad Ali refuses Army induction. Boxing champ Muhammad Ali refuses to be inducted into the U.S. Army and is immediately stripped of his heavyweight title. Ali, a Muslim, cited religious reasons for his decision to forego military service. April the 28th, 1897. Chickasaw and Choctaw abandoned communal lands. The Chickasaw and Choctaw, considered 2 of the 5 civilized tribes, the others being Cherokee, Seminole, and I can't remember what the 5th one is. But anyway, the Chickasaw and Choctaw became the first to agree to abolish tribal government and communal ownership of land. The other tribes followed, finally throwing open all the Indian territory to white settlement. Let's see. And it looks like all for the 28th of April. Let's move ahead to the next day, the 29th of April. Woo! The 29th of April. 2004, the World War II monument opens in Washington, D.C. Also on April the 29th, 2011, Britain's Prince William weds Kate Middleton. April the 29th, 1992, I remember this very well. Riots erupt in Los Angeles after police officers are acquitted in the Rodney King trial. Let's see. Ba, ba, ba. What else? Okay, there wasn't much else on the 29th of April. Let's go to the 30th. Okay, the 30th of April, 1945. Adolf Hitler commits suicide in his underground bunker. So he was surrounded, but he was never captured. He committed suicide in his bunker. April 30th, 1789, George Washington inaugurated as the first president of the United States. Uh, do, do, do. April 30th, 1997, the controversial coming out episode of Ellen airs on TV. Let's see. That looks like all of it for April the 30th. Let's head to May the 1st. May the 1st, 1931, the Empire State Building is dedicated. What else happened on May the 1st? May the 1st, 1898, the U.S. destroys Spanish Pacific Fleet in the Battle of Manila Bay during the Spanish-American War. May the 1st, 1915, the International Congress of Women adopts resolutions on peace and women's suffrage. And of course, women in the U.S. would gain the right to vote 5 years later in 1920. Let's see. May the 1st, 1991, Rickey Henderson breaks Major League Baseball's stolen base record. May the 1st, 1941, Orson Welles released his landmark film Citizen Kane, considered by many the greatest movie of all time. May the 1st, American U-2 spy plane shot down over the Soviet Union, containing Gary Powers, I believe it was, who's actually from my hometown, which is rare. There's so little here. So even though he was shot down, it's one of the few, I guess you would call it, celebrities from here. May the 2nd. May the 2nd. What year? Let's see what the news has in store on history. 1933, Loch Ness Monster sighted for the first time, igniting the modern legend. I don't know if it was the first time, because from what I remember, there supposedly are sightings that go back centuries, not just to 33. But regardless, I don't think we have any proof there is such a thing as the Loch Ness Monster, though, regardless. May the 2nd, 2011, Osama bin Laden killed by the U.S. What else? May the 2nd, 1939, baseball slugger Lou Gehrig ends legendary consecutive game streak due to illness. May the 2nd, 1918, General Motors buys Chevrolet. And let's look at May the 3rd, which, as of the time of this video is being filmed, was yesterday. May the 3rd, Italian philosopher and writer Niccolo Machiavelli is born. 1469. Quit it, computer. May the 3rd, 1947, the new Japanese Constitution goes into effect. What else? May the 3rd. May the 3rd, 1810, Lord Byron swims across the tumultuous Hellespont Strait in Turkey. Okay. So that is the week in history. Now, let's look at the last several newscasters and see what they have to say here. Okay. Philip DeFranco, who I love to watch. I kind of see him as a middle-of-the-road personality when it comes to news. Surprise bans and crackdown hits dangerous channels. Oh yeah, Facebook and Instagram banned a bunch of right-wing channels as well as right-wing pages, as well as especially not just right-wing, alt-right. Those that spend time in conspiracy theories. As well as the minister Louis Farrakhan, who does spin hate against those of the Israeli faith. Semitic hate. There we go. That's... I never can remember the word. Let's see. Donald Trump, instead of agreeing that we should go ahead and retire the carrier Harry S. Truman to focus on the more technological issues, he's like, no, we want to spend the $30 billion to keep it afloat. Listen to your people. They're saying no, no. But he doesn't care. I swear, we've got an idiot for a leader. But for now, that was your week in review. I don't do much on the news, I guess. I'm going to have to find a better way to do that, or I might just drop the news portion unless there's interesting stories. But I'll see you all again in the next video. But until then, later.